For the remainder of this lesson, we are going to put together the first verse of our arrangement. So let's get started by entering all the notes of our arrangements in the first 8 measures. Start with measure 2 and just quickly add all the notes that you see in our final arrangements through measure 8, and then we'll go back and discuss and arrange each one of the measures as we come to them. So we want to go to measure 2, and we're actually going to put a C chord in here. We'll start down here at the 5th string with a 3, a 2, a 0, a 1, and then of course we have our melody note. Moving on to measure 3, we have a 0 on the 3rd string and a 1 on the 2nd string. Now I'm going to go ahead and quickly go through measure 8, and we'll get back with you in just a moment. All right, we have now entered all of our notes in measures 1 through 8. Let's go ahead and hit F12, and let's play the first 8 measures. Okay, that's the first 8 measures. Hit stop. And let's go ahead and scroll back to measure 1 again. In these 8 measures, we're going to use 2 spatial effects. And we're going to use these on our chords that we have entered in. If we go to measure 2, you'll see where we have a C chord. And we're going to put a roll in here. This is where you start at the 5th string and play up through the 1st string until you get to the melody. Right now, it sounds like this. Now we're going to change that sound by giving it a roll. Let's put our cursor on our 3rd fret, 5th string, and come over here and put in a roll. Just click that. You see, now we have a roll, which means we're going to start at the 5th string and we're going to strum up through to the melody note, and it's going to sound like this. You can hear the difference. Now we're putting a little bit of technique into our arrangement. We will do the same thing with the 3rd. We'll hit the 0 here, and we'll add a roll to it. And we'll do the same with our 4th measure. By hitting F12, we'll have a little bit different sound. Okay. Now we're going to use a little bit different type of technique when we get over to our 6th and 7th measure. In our 6th measure, instead of a roll, we're just going to do a brush. Now a brush is different from a roll in that a roll you'll let each string play individually as you're working your way up. On a brush, you will tend to hit all 3 of these strings at the same time. This can be done with 3 fingers, or it can be done with a real fast stroke. And we'll end up with a brush. We'll also put a brush in at measure 7. Click the 0 and add the brush. Now let's see what that sounds like by hitting F12. Now I'm going to go ahead and enter in the rest of the notes of this first verse. That'll be all the notes from measure 9 up through measure 16. While I'm doing that, you do the same thing in your program. I'll see you on the other side. Now we've completed putting our notes in to the arrangement up through measure 16. You'll also notice as I move back through the tab that I've also entered in the row and the brush, and here's another row. Since we've already covered those, I thought I would just go ahead and enter them in as I went.